our main discussion would be on the topic, this is it. So what does this mean, first of all? This is it means Krishna consciousness is the end. There is nothing more. That's the meaning of this phrase, this is it. So there is an essay many years ago I had read by one British philosopher, Isaiah Berlin. That essay was called The Hedgehog and the Fox. You know what is a hedgehog? Hedgehog is a wild rat you find in the forest. Porcupine, you know, porcupine, it has those spikes coming out of the body. That's a wild rat or a porcupine. So the essay is hedgehog and the fox, means the porcupine and the fox. So the main lesson from that essay is the fox knows many things, but the hedgehog knows one big thing. So the fox, he makes many strategies. He knows many things. How will I attack this hedgehog? How will I catch him? So he has conferences, meetings with other foxes. He makes a plan. And he tries different ways to attack. But the hedgehog, what does it do? Whenever the fox attacks anytime with any strategy, the hedgehog has only one strategy. It goes inward and raises its spikes. It has these sharp spikes coming out of his body. It comes out. The porcupine, you must have seen. So whatever different things the fox does, the hedgehog does only one thing. It just takes out its spikes. So the essence is there are people in this world who do many things, many different things for fulfillment. But Hare Krishna devotees may not do many things. They have one big thing. And that one big thing is Krishna consciousness. This is it. This is the end of the journey. Many of us had many questions in life. We had many desires. We were looking for that one thing that would solve everything. That one magic talisman, one magic wand. And that is this, Krishna consciousness. This is it, Krishna consciousness. So, you know, like the porcupine takes out its spikes like this, you've seen when the fox attacks. So what we do, devotees, we also take out our finger like this. It is also like a spike. For any problem, our feedback is there. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So devotees have Krishna consciousness. We have deities, we have Bhagavatam. So that's why, you know, my very dear friend Anandandavan Prabhu, anything happens to him, his hand goes to feedback. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This is he is a classic example of hedgehog and the fox. He is like the hedgehog. Whatever happens, he knows one big thing, that is Krishna. Material energy may know many things, many strategies, many plans. So the topic, this is it. In simple words, it means we have arrived at the destination. Ladies and gentlemen, Prabhus and Matajis, we are here. Your search has ended. I want to tell all of you today that Krishna consciousness is the end. It is not the means. I want to say it again and again. It is the goal. It is not a gateway to a goal. Krishna consciousness is not for something else, but the practice itself is the fulfillment. Srila Prabhupada appealed, Bhakti is not a tool. It is a treasure. So the main point I want to share today in this talk is, please let us make that inner shift in Bhakti. The heart of spiritual life is this being state where we, you know, why we chant. See, when we are chanting, it appears we are doing something. We are chanting and doing so many rounds. But we are doing this as an end. Means we are not doing this chanting for something else. Krishna consciousness is not to get something. Krishna consciousness is to be with Krishna. I'll repeat. Krishna consciousness is not to do something or to get something. It is about living Krishna consciousness here and now. And the reward of Krishna consciousness is what? The reward of chanting is what? It's Krishna consciousness. This is the fulfilled state of bhakti. This is it. Basically, Krishna consciousness is not for some results. It is all about presence of Krishna, not performance. Are we present with Krishna or are we performing for this world? So for many of us, Krishna consciousness starts. How did we start bhakti? We started as a means. We started bhakti as a means for some end. And it's natural, perhaps it's inevitable also, that our first steps in spiritual life is goal-oriented. What did we want when we came new to bhakti? We wanted peace. I wanted peace. All of you also, I can vouch for some of you. When we came new, bhakti was a means. We wanted peace, we wanted happiness, we wanted success, we wanted relief from suffering, we wanted clarity, right? We wanted a purpose. And we started thinking that Krishna consciousness will offer all of this. But the deeper question we have to ask is, am I using Krishna consciousness to get something? I'll repeat. Am I using Krishna consciousness to get something? Or have I realized that Krishna consciousness is itself the goal? There is a chain, there is a trap of means and ends. In our day-to-day life, we often use things as a means for something else, isn't it? Like why does a boy or a girl study hard? Because she wants a good job. Why do you want a good job? So that you can earn money. So money becomes the means and the job is a stepping stone. Then you want money to buy a house. So now money becomes the means and the house is the end. But then I want the house so that my family is happy. So again, now the house is the means and my family's happiness is the end. So ultimately, why are we doing all of this? It's all a means so that we can be happy. My family can be happy. But what exactly is happiness? What exactly is peace of mind? All that end that we want is so vague. It is elusive. It is abstract. It is immeasurable. And it is controlled by the mind, which is fickle by nature. And if you examine closely, you'll realize that the so-called end that we want is extremely vague. And it's always shifting. And it's hard to define. It all depends on the mind's mood, perception. It keeps changing like the seasons. So the mind may be overwhelmed. Oh, you've got a newborn baby. You'll be very happy to see the baby. And you may think this is the goal of my life to serve this child. But within minutes, the mind will wander. Mind will have anxiety. What if something happens to my child? Will I be a good parent? So the end keeps shifting. It is unstable. It is fragile. But then what we do, because it is confusing, we don't know what is the end. We focus on the means. Job, money, house, because this is tangible, this is measurable, and the end remains vague. And even when we reach the so-called destination, we don't recognize it. We are conditioned to keep moving. We are conditioned to keep driving. Even when we achieve what we wanted to achieve, we don't realize that we have achieved because we are caught in the loop of endless pursuit of our means. So we feel uncomfortable. I've seen devotees becoming uncomfortable when they achieve their destination. See, means is like a journey, destination, end is like a destination. So you're so busy focusing on the journey that you don't really know or realize that you've reached the destination. So many of us don't even realize that we have reached our destination. Even when we have reached what we thought was destination, we don't feel fulfilled. Why? Because we are caught in the momentum of movement. We always keep moving. We are addicted to moving. We are addicted to doing something to get something. We are addicted to chasing. We have forgotten what the destination was supposed to be in the first place. So we keep going around in circles and driving in a car. Like imagine somebody is driving in a car, going around in circles, and you stop him and say, "Sir, where are you going? I'm seeing your car is going around in our colony constantly. But where are you going, sir?" And imagine that person says, "I don't know, but I'm driving well. I'm following all the traffic rules." You say, "That is okay, but where are you going?" So we are like that man in the car. We are driving, we are doing, we are living beautifully. Some of us are living piously, but we rarely question where we are actually headed. So therefore, from childhood, we have remained stuck till death. We do things to get something abstract. Everything is a means for something else. From morning to night, we are running like the carrot dangling in front of the donkey that makes the donkey move. We keep moving, hope against hope. And then one day we come to Hare Krishna movement. We come to an ISKCON program, and there is this overwhelming sense of arrival. Devotees start feeling, this is it. I'm home. I have found what I wanted. I'm seeing the deities, chanting the holy names, Kirtan, Bhagavatam. There is a sense of fullness. There is a sense of completeness. And now I've seen devotees say, Prabhuji, abhi darshan mil gaya na, bas. Now if I die, I don't mind. Because that fulfillment, I've reached the destination. I've reached. Now I'm complete. But what happens? The old conditioning comes back. It creeps in. What is the old conditioning? We are addicts. We are means addicts. We are addicted to doing. We are addicted to performing. We are addicted to achieving. So we start chasing sadhana goals. I have to finish my rounds. I have to attend the temple program. I have to do this service. We believe that if I do it all well, then I will get Krishna's love. Then I will go back to Godhead. And unknowingly what we have done, we have reduced Krishna consciousness also to another set of means, like money, like job. Now what has happened is now we have spiritualized it, but we are still chasing only. Little do we realize that we are again stuck like before. See, before Krishna conscious life, we were chasing after money. We were chasing after house. And we were thinking this will make me happy. Now we are chasing after finishing my rounds. We are hearing some quota. We are doing some seva. Why? I will be happy. I will be spiritually happy, which is also vague only. Spiritual happiness is also vague like material happiness. It is old wine in new bottle. Sorry, old Charanamrit in new bottle. It is same thing. We are chasing after same stuff. We have not changed. So the greatest gift that we have got, Bhakti Yoga, we are seeing that as a means for some end. That means once again we have fallen into the trap of means and ends. The practice, Hare Krishna practice, is the destination, but now it has become a bridge to something else. Earlier we chased money to be happy. Now we chase seva, sadhana to be spiritually happy. But still happiness is seen as some future gain rather than present fulfillment. Therefore, we get trapped by spiritual materialism, which means we want material goals only, but through spiritual practices. Like, we started chanting Hare Krishna thinking, oh, this will make me happy. Or I've seen, we sometimes say, I want to pass this exam, I want a great job, we want to resolve family issues. We ask devotees, Prabhuji, please pray for me, I have an interview tomorrow. Okay, Prabhu, I'll chant one round extra for you. So the holiest process, chanting the Mahamantra, which is, we are using it to serve our material ends. Even when the goal is spiritual, like for example, going back to Godhead, we often relate it to some material terms like destination to be achieved through some performance. So actually chanting Bhakti Yoga is about intimate presence with Krishna. And the tragedy is, the end we have in mind is usually in the material world only. We want to practice Bhakti so that I can be happy in this material world. I want to chant Hare Krishna so that I can get a good job. Or I can, please pray for me, Prabhu, so that I can pass the exam. Prayer is a means for an end in this world. But Krishna consciousness is not a transaction. It is a transformation process. It is not a process to get something. It is that something. what we are thinking I will get, that something is Krishna consciousness. You know this famous pastime? Srila Prabhupada asked, what do you get by chanting Hare Krishna? Anybody knows what Prabhupada said? When he was asked, what will you get by chanting Hare Krishna? Prabhupada said, we chant Hare Krishna. More chanting. Prabhupada said, what will you get by chanting Hare Krishna? Prabhupada said, we chant Hare Krishna to chant Hare Krishna. This is a paradigm shift we have to undergo. So we have heard this pastime, we have spoken this pastime, but still we haven't got it. We subconsciously imagine that I'll get some happiness in this material world, some success in material life. Please know, Krishna consciousness is not transactional, it is transformational. We have access to Krishna consciousness, which is by definition a means beyond the material world. And we are practicing it. We are practicing a process which is meant to take us beyond material world. So please understand, we are practicing a process which is meant to take us beyond material world, but we are practicing it to make our life in the material world better. So therefore, Krishna consciousness will make sense. It will give us all the promises, all the fulfillment only when I change the paradigm. When I start looking at Bhakti Yoga not as something that I use for something else. Krishna consciousness is independent of what I am doing for my job, my family, my health. No, Bhakti is the end. We need to keep saying this to ourselves and see this is it. We have to say this is it. We have to see Bhakti in that light. Only then we will become fulfilled. Please make this paradigm shift. Otherwise, it will be like any other material thing you are doing. So what does Rupa Goswami say? What is Bhakti? Those who are practicing Krishna consciousness, this is one of the first things we learn in Bhakti Yoga. Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the first wave, first chapter, verse number 11 has defined Krishna consciousness. Anyabhilashta shunyam jnana karmadanavritam anukulena krishnanu shilanam bhaktiruttama. He says Uttama Bhakti, first class Bhakti is that where we serve Krishna without desire for anything else other than Krishna. And this service is not covered by jnana or karma. This definition makes it very clear. Krishna consciousness is not a means, it is it. It is the end. It is not to be used to obtain peace, happiness, heaven, liberation, or even spiritual accomplishment. Bhakti, that may come, that will come. See, happiness will come, Kleshagni, Shubhada, all of that is there. But the practitioner seeks none of them. He only seeks Krishna. Krishna consciousness is not a means to peace, success, or moksha also. It is for its own purpose. So, the moral of the story is, we must move from seeking Krishna consciousness for something. We have to move towards Krishna consciousness is for seeking only Krishna. This means to end loop must break. Chanting, hearing, serving, these are not tools to take us somewhere. They are the destination itself. Only when we make this paradigm shift, we will be happy. Till then, we will not be happy. Because Krishna's name is not different from Krishna. And when we are serving Krishna, we are with Krishna. So now, this is the theory, what I've spoken so far. Now, I will share with you practically how do we translate this? How do we reorient? What can we do? Simple. Next time you pick up your beads, and you are chanting. So don't say, what do we say? Let me finish my rounds. We may not say it loudly, but subconsciously, we have not even begun, we think of finishing. Let me finish my rounds so that I can move to some other seva. So you catch your mind when that particular moment when the mind says that. Instead say, whatever I did till this point of time, what did I do? I took rest in the night, I took my bath, I had breakfast. I did all of that so that I can now chant. Are you seeing the difference? We generally think I will chant now, then I will do this, then I will do that, then I will do this. I'm saying no. When I chant, I say, whatever I did so far, I did so that I can now chant. This japa is the end of my journey. This is my destination. I am now with Krishna. The goal has been reached. This is not a task. This is the end. This is where I meet Krishna. When I'm taking darshan of the deities, I am meeting Krishna. My goal is not to reach Krishna some other day, next year, after 10 years. No, I am with Krishna now. You may say, Acha Prabhuji, if I say all of this while chanting, then I should not concentrate or should not focus on completing my 16 rounds. No, yes, you complete your 16 rounds. But don't chant the rounds to complete them. Our chanting should be in the mood that I want to be with Krishna. Let japa be a state of being, not a task that I have to finish. Only then Krishna consciousness becomes sustainable, joyful, real. Only then we will shift from doing for Krishna to being with Krishna. Only then we will return to God. See, our back home, back to Godhead is guaranteed because we have already arrived. We are with. If you are with Krishna, then you are going back to Godhead. Therefore, transformation in bhakti, transformation in Krishna consciousness means the transformation from doing to being, means from seeking to realizing, from using the process to living the process. And what happens when devotees make this paradigm shift? If you start changing this, I'll tell you what will happen right from tomorrow morning. We'll experience this. Instead of saying, I will chant because I'll chant and then do so many things. Instead of that, the paradigm is what I'm doing, this is the end. If I think in that mood, when I'm doing deity worship, this is it. I'm doing deity worship. Whatever I did till now was so that I can come here and do deity worship. When we make this paradigm shift, everything changes for us because we are in the mood that this is it. This is our mood. And then what happens? First thing, you will not measure success by how much you do. You will start measuring success by how much present you are with Krishna. And you will see this change happen in the heart immediately. Second, you stop looking for happiness elsewhere. Because this right now is happiness. We will not serve to get Krishna's blessings, but you will serve to express your love for Krishna. Krishna, I love you. This is why I'm serving. So what happens? Slowly we see, we enter a different mode of bhakti yoga. You will see devotees who practice this. Their bhakti is marked by peace, sweetness. There is presence. There is fulfillment. They don't look at Krishna in some future moment. Okay, tomorrow I will see Krishna. No, they find him here in this particular devotional activity. If we cannot find Krishna now, my dear Prabhus and Matajis, if we cannot find Krishna now, we will not find him later. If we cannot be with Krishna now in our chanting, hearing, service, what makes you think that suddenly you will find him after death? Krishna consciousness is not a passport. Okay, I have this passport, I'll go to some other world. No, Krishna consciousness is rediscovery of our relationship with Krishna now, in this world. Krishna consciousness will not give you happiness. Krishna consciousness is happiness. This is not to get something else. This is that something that you wanted, that the soul has been seeking. This is it. We have reached. I know for some of you this discussion may go bouncer. You may think, अरे क्या बोल रहे हैं प्रभु जी, आज प्रभु जी बहकी बहकी बातें कर रहे हैं, क्या हो गया? No, if you can't relate to it, don't worry. Because for many of us, Krishna consciousness is a means for some material thing. That's why we are not able to understand this. Can we ask this painful question to ourselves? Why am I practicing spiritual life? Is it because I want something from it? And what is it that I want? See, you are supposed to do your business. You are supposed to manage your house. You are supposed to take care of your family so that you can chant properly. But the reality is, we don't want to admit that we chant properly so that our family life is happy, so that my business is happy. This is a total opposite paradigm. I'm just saying, I'm talking ulta, pura 180-degree change. But it's okay. We need to know, we just need to know that what I'm doing right now is not ideal way to practice bhakti. That is all. It will keep, basically the whole discussion is to keep us humble. Be vulnerable, yes, Prabhu. Ask this painful question. Why am I practicing bhakti? Pause, reflect deeply, and don't simply hear passively. At least admit that I'm doing transactional bhakti. I'm not doing transformational bhakti. And I'm repeating, Prabhus, it is okay. You are grihasthas, you have your pain, you have your challenges. Fine. Most of us begin our journey, even brahmachari, sannyasis, we all begin our journey in Krishna consciousness by treating Krishna consciousness as a means. That is not wrong. It is natural. Gajendra called out to Krishna when he was in distress. Dhruva Maharaj wanted a kingdom. So he came to Krishna for material things only. So I'm not discounting that. Arjuna was also depressed. He wanted to be happy. Gita assures us in the 7th chapter. Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukritano Arjuna. Krishna says 4 kinds of people come to me. Those who are distressed, those who are inquisitive, those who are seeking wealth, those who are wise. So Krishna is not going to reject you because you're coming to Krishna with as a means. You know, you're taking Krishna consciousness as a means. That's okay. Please don't beat yourself up because you are normal, you are a human being. That's okay. But I'm just saying, see, because even when we take Krishna consciousness as a means, because you're coming to Krishna, Krishna consciousness will purify. And eventually we will understand that Krishna consciousness is the end. So it's a spiritual travesty to remain stuck in means-based devotion. But it is a natural starting point. I agree, it is a natural starting point. But we can't be stuck at the starting point. We have to move forward. See, there is a difference between transactional bhakti and transformational bhakti. Between seeking Krishna for something else and seeking Krishna as the goal. I want Krishna. See, we all, I'm telling you honestly, every devotee in ISKCON, we want some amazing transformation in the heart. We all are seeking that. When you see your Guru Maharaj, when you see pure devotees, you want what they have. So then you have to do something for that to happen. You can't wait for it to happen. We are stuck in the mechanical performance of bhakti. So, but the heart is yearning for intimate relationship with Krishna. So we can't give up the sadhana. I'm not saying give up. I'm just saying add something to transform that mechanical bhakti to more transformative experience. So three things: reflection, second is emotion, and third is patience. So what you're doing, continue, but keep remembering, thinking that this is not the end. What I'm doing is not the best, but I'm doing it. But eventually I want to reach there. Reflect, add emotion, and be patient. It's very, very critical what I'm sharing, because this is not some philosophical point. This is existential. This Krishna consciousness, we are using it to get something else, even spiritual, that is okay. But we have to know that the final goal, the prayojan, is chanting, hearing. Even, see, I'll tell you, one of my cousins, I think I said that in the ABC class. This is like an example which will remain with me for the rest of my life. My cousin sister, when we were young, just a commerce graduate at the age of 21, she got into the top MBA college in India, IIM Ahmedabad. Now, generally, everybody, they do have a lot of work experience, very, a lot of hard work they do, and then they get into that. But she got in her very first attempt. So everybody in her class treated her like a small kid because she was the youngest and everybody was highly qualified, a lot of experience. But then when the campus placements happened, she got a job in Coca-Cola. And then when I asked her, how is your job? What are you doing? She said, I'm going in the truck with the delivery boys and loading all the bottles of Coca-Cola in different places. I said, you are an MBA graduate from IIM Ahmedabad, the top college, and you are going like with the laborers or uneducated people. You are going with them and carrying these boxes. She said, she smiled at me and she said, no, this is just training. I'm learning the whole process. But eventually I'll be a CEO. I'll be a manager. I'll be sitting in an AC office. So what she did, what you do in the beginning, that's not what you do after 20 years of working. You grow, you become CFO, you become big person. But in Bhakti Yoga, it is different. What you did when you came initial day, that is what you will do when you are old also. You are hearing, chanting when you came first new Bhakta. So it's not that after you become sannyasi, you will do something else. Same thing you have to do. Like recently, Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Swami Maharaj came to our temple. So he was giving Bhagavatam class. So I was sitting in the front and hearing his class because he's a sannyasi. I have to hear. And I was surprised, not surprised. I turned around and I saw on my right side is my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj. He's also sitting, just like I am sitting and hearing, he's also sitting and hearing Maharaj, Keshav Maharaj give class. Keshav Maharaj is just 43-year-old, and His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj is 75. So Maharaj was, a sannyasi when he was born. So what if he is a young boy compared to me? He is giving katha, and the process is we have to hear, we have to chant. So what Maharaj was doing as a young brahmachari initial day, that is what he's doing now also. Even Srila Prabhupada heard his disciples' classes. So that's what I'm trying to say. We have to know this. We have to change the paradigm. There is nothing else that you will do after 20 years from now. This is the joy in bhakti. This simple thing we miss because we mistake it as means. And why do we mistake it as means? Because the material world has conditioned us to be goal-oriented. We do X to get Y. Always. We instinctively treat chanting also, worship also, service also same way. I will chant Prabhuji to become peaceful. I will read to become learned. I will serve to get blessings. I will pray to pass my exam. But spiritual life will flip the script. Pura script ulta ho jayega. There is a twist in the whole plot. A pure devotee will tell you, I've heard Radhana Swami Maharaj's classes. I know I hear one day Maharaj's classes, one day Prabhupada's classes. And you know what I'm hearing him say? It's very, very different than what I'm doing. I'm chanting because I want to be happy. But Maharaj says, you chant because Krishna is beautiful and lovable. I'm like, what? Please understand this. Pure devotee chants Hare Krishna and we chant Hare Krishna so that I can get a good job. Pure devotee chants Hare Krishna because Krishna is beautiful and Krishna is lovable. I heard Maharaj say in one class, we read Bhagavatam because, now, if I pause here and if I ask myself, I read Bhagavatam because I want points, I want answers. Maharaj says, we read Bhagavatam because this brings me in contact with Krishna. We serve Krishna. Why? I tell myself, I serve Krishna because I want blessings. I want to go back home, back to Godhead. Maharaj says, no. We serve Krishna because we love Krishna. We pray because that is the heart speaking to the beloved. You see, Krishna conscious actions are not to get something. They are the something. That is the difference between pure devotee. Pure devotee is chanting because he loves Krishna. I chant because I want to develop love for Krishna. Mine is executive bhakti. Pure devotee is doing effective bhakti. I'm executing bhakti to get something else. Pure devotee, he loves Krishna, so chanting is an effect of his love for Krishna. So eventually we have to reach that stage. I'm not saying artificially we go there. We continue to be humble. We continue to do what we are doing. But we need to know that there is an inversion. We have to understand that ulta. When I came to Krishna consciousness, I did not know, I did not realize this. Where is this going? I saw it as a means, but now I have to twist. I have to understand that eventually, if I want to experience deep fulfillment in bhakti, this inversion has to happen. And this is very jarring for the conditioned soul. That's why we resist. We slip back to old habits. We get into doing mode all the time. So, and if we don't change Prabhu's, and if we remain in this means trap, this is a means for something else, you know what will happen? We will never cross over from seeing Krishna consciousness as a means. Then spiritual life will become frustrating. We will remain seekers. We will never discover Krishna. We'll keep saying, I want to go back to Godhead, but we will not be sure what we mean by that. I mean, do you really know what you're saying when you say, I want to go back home, back to Godhead? Like, I want Krishna Prem, but actually, I don't know love beyond my family and friends. And I'm here talking about love for Krishna. It will be lip service. It will be theory. It will be Krishna consciousness will be disguised social life. It will not be deeply spiritual experience. And then we'll meet senior devotees who are also struggling like us. And they will tell us, don't worry too much, Prabhuji, of Krishna Prem. Just keep doing seva. You are doing great. Krishna sees practical. Just keep doing. And this encourages us to be in the doing mode. And we will remain the means addicts. You know, we'll be in that paradigm only, that I have to do this to get something else. We will remain unfulfilled because Krishna consciousness at the core, I'm sorry to disappoint you, at the core, Krishna consciousness is not supposed to give us anything else other than Krishna consciousness. I know this is quite heavy. Because we don't want to listen to this, so we continue to measure our progress by initiation. I got Brahman initiation. I'm chanting more rounds today. I'm doing more service in temple. I'm honors. I've been awarded in the temple. We start measuring progress not by internal transformation or by intimacy with Krishna. And our friends, our society, the devotees we have, they also live in the same paradigm. Therefore, this approach seems natural. This approach seems normal. And then what happens? After some years, the devotees start saying, Prabhuji, I'm doing so much bhakti. Where is the peace? Why I'm not happy? Where is the taste? Because deep down, you're still thinking Krishna consciousness is meant to give me something rather than being the very thing that I want. Sooner or later, the mind will protest because we have seen it as a means, not an end. So the mind will ask, if it is giving that something, like I know one family, I'm sorry to say this, they gave up Krishna consciousness after they installed Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra deities in their home. Because after they installed the deities and they had called some devotees, they had prasadam, they had program. And after 2 months, there was a big burglary in their house. All the gold and jewelry was stolen. And they felt that how can God do this to us? We have given our life to Krishna. I know this is an extreme example. Basically, the subtle unspoken message is, I was doing bhakti so that I can be safe. I was doing bhakti so that I can have money. I was doing bhakti so that, see, and when I don't get what I expected, then I give up Krishna consciousness, or I go through divorce or cancer. See, we all will go through divorce, cancer, disease, deaths. And Krishna may want to strip us of all our attachments, false pride. So therefore, we will not be happy in bhakti if we have not changed the paradigm. But if you have changed the paradigm, you know what are the symptoms? First is simplicity of heart. You will not calculate spiritual returns. You will no longer calculate. You will be like, "Are Prabhuji, maja hai bhakti mein, aanand mein, mala aaj ho gaya, aaj ke din acha gaya." Your joy will be in the moment. Chanting, hearing, serving will be satisfying even without external results. And you will have unshakable faith. Even when you go through adversity, you will be having faith in Krishna because you're not using Krishna to escape suffering. We will love Krishna for Krishna's presence, not for the gifts he gives us. We are not, and I've seen my Guru Maharaj, one of the symptoms of this kind of bhakti, this kind of paradigm I've seen in my Guru Maharaj, he is not in a hurry to end any activity. Like any spiritual activity he's doing, then he has to do something else. I've seen him, the transition is very smooth and gracious. He slowly makes a transition to the next event. You know, he's not that, "Arey, abhi khatam karna hai, the next bhagna hai." He is not in the tick mode. I know this is very subtle, it's very nuanced, but you know it in your heart, you know. See, the ultimate end in Bhakti Yoga is a person. It is not some state that I will achieve. Krishna consciousness is the only spiritual process in this entire creation where the end goal is a person. It is not some impersonal state. See, in other paths, the end is what? Liberation from suffering, eternal bliss, merging with the absolute. But for Hare Krishna movement, the end is a relationship with the person Krishna. It is not love in isolation. It is not that I want to feel loved. No, there is more to love in Hare Krishna. It is not love. It is love for Krishna. That Krishna is the, you know, our Gurujan Prabhu says, Prabhupada said, double it for Krishna, book distribution. But we forget for Krishna. We focus on double it. And then instead of Krishna, for Krishna, it comes for my ego. So ultimately, it is not for anything else, but it is for Krishna. We have to center on Krishna. It is not love, prema, for prema's sake. It is Krishna prema. So therefore, Krishna consciousness is not for peace. Krishna consciousness is for presence of Krishna. Krishna consciousness is not for perfection. Krishna consciousness is for association of Krishna. So therefore, Krishna consciousness is actually not only the end, it is also the path where the end is a person who loves me and I love Krishna. So, but I want to clarify what I said in the beginning. Krishna consciousness is not simply an end, it is also a means. We are not like, you know, we are like the Dhruv Maharaj also wanted material things. So we are conditioned. So Krishna allows us to approach him as a means, but we have to become mature. We have to slowly start seeing that Krishna is the only person I want. Not just Krishna's blessings, not liberation. I want Krishna. And when that realization becomes right, the devotee naturally reaches the being state. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. He doesn't want anything more. What did Srila Prabhupada say? We are not chanting to get something. Chanting is itself everything. There is one place, I don't remember where it was, Prabhupada writes that a pure devotee does not want to go back to Godhead. He wants to serve Krishna wherever Krishna desires. I remember I once challenged Anandan Prabhu, who keeps saying, I want to go back home, back to Godhead. I told him once, Prabhuji, if Krishna comes and tells you cannot go back to Godhead, what will you say? Immediately he said, I will accept because I want to make Krishna happy, no? Ultimately. So then I understood, ye pakka, inka funda clear hai. He is not got his basics wrong. He may say, I want to go back home, back to Godhead. But he knows ultimately Krishna's happiness is what we want. So the bhakti is the end in itself. You know, in the initial days in 26nd Avenue when Prabhupada started ISKCON, they were doing kirtan in that hall, and that was very austere. They had to, you know, they would the feet when they would stomp on the floor, and you would create disturbance. Sometimes neighbors, they would come and complain to the police. A lot of disturbances was there. So during one of those classes, Prabhupada says the chanting we are doing, chanting and dancing, this is the exact sentence which I remember from reading from Nilambar. Prabhupada says, chanting and dancing is our life. It is not that we are doing this to get something. This is Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada's joy was not dependent on any future achievement. It was fully present in the moment of chanting, dancing, service. Once one devotee asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, how will we know if we are successful in spiritual life? This is a very, very interesting question. How will we know if you are successful in spiritual life? Prabhupada's simple answer he gave. If you are happy in Krishna consciousness, you are successful. Means the whole paradigm has shifted. It's not about external progress or reward, but the internal connection. I'm satisfied. I'm with Krishna now. I'm happy. There's one temple, I think it was Hyderabad temple building or Bhubaneswar, I don't know where. Prabhupada was struggling with a construction temple and one devotee was not chanting. Prabhupada said, do not become attached to the brick and stone. If you forget to chant sincerely, what is the use of the temple? The means, the temple building, organization, activity is important, but it should not eclipse the end. The end is pure loving devotion to Krishna. His Holiness Niranjan Swami Maharaj once told us that your Guru will give you two kinds of instructions, permanent instruction and temporary instruction. Very beautiful point, he said. He said temporary instruction is, okay, build this temple, raise funds for Janmashtami, do this project. That is temporary instruction. But the same Guru also gives you permanent instruction during initiation, 4 regulative principles, chant every day, be humble like a blade of grass, be loving, don't offend. These are all permanent instructions. And he also gives temporary instructions. What happens with many of us, we focus only on the temporary instructions so much that we compromise on the permanent instructions to fulfill the temporary instructions. Therefore, we should never forget what Srila Prabhupada gave us in the Bhagavatam 1.2.6. Save pumsam paro dharmo ito bhaktiradokshje ahetukiya pratiyata yayatma suprasidati. Unconditional, uninterrupted bhakti, that is the supreme goal. 6.22 Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that when we are situated in the transcendental position, then Gurunapi vichalyate. There is yasmin stitona dukkhena Gurunapi vichalyate. There is nothing else to achieve. That practice, that is a completeness. So therefore, Krishna consciousness is not a passport. I think I mentioned that in the just a few minutes ago. You know, okay, I have this passport. Now I'll go back to Godhead. No, Prabhus, Krishna consciousness is a rediscovery of my relationship with Krishna now in this world. This is a common misconception many devotees have. Many devotees think subconsciously that, you know, bhakti is a transaction. Let me chant, let me follow rules. That one day I will go get my visa and I will go to Vaikuntha or I'll go back to Golok Vrindavan, visa mil jayega. You know, basically I'll do sadhana, then I'll be able to pass all the tests of my life. Oh, devotional service is a ticket which I will get to go out of the world. I'm waiting for some future reward instead of embracing Krishna present reality. See, this is a passport mentality. Spiritual life is a kind of immigration process for us. It is basically fundamentally impersonal and disconnected. This is not the way of doing bhakti. We'll never feel Krishna's love in our heart. The reality of bhakti is, it is a present, living and loving relationship. Krishna consciousness is not a future promise. One day it will happen. You know, Prabhupada's famous example he gave for scientists to criticize scientists. What did he say? When the scientist said in future we will conquer death, what would Prabhupada say? You are giving a post-dated check, you rascal. Prabhupada would chastise. He says it's a post-dated check. Similarly, we also give post-dated check. One day I will go back to Krishna. But bhakti is not preparing for another world. Bhakti is realizing Krishna in this world. The sadhana is not a temporary phase that we will outgrow. Sadhana is an expression of my eternal identity, that I belong to Krishna. See, passport will take us away from here to another country. If you are in America, with your passport, you can go to India, vice versa. But bhakti is not about going to Goloka. Bhakti is about getting Krishna who is there, getting Krishna here. We are not escaping from material world to go back to spiritual world. That will happen eventually. But It is first to experience Krishna's presence here. See, if I have a passport mindset, you know what will happen? If I'm only thinking I have to go back to Godhead, then I'll simply tolerate the suffering in this world. But if I understand that bhakti is about rediscovery, then I will relate to Krishna in this world, in my suffering, in my happiness, in all my situations. I will relate to Krishna. Therefore, we have to focus on our rediscovery, removing the layer. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishto. I'm in everybody's heart. I am to be known. Krishna is not far away. Krishna is within. The best example Rupa Goswami gives in Nectar of Devotion. He says the child is learning to walk. So it may appear that this is difficult. He's trying something else. Imagine the child says, "Oh, this is very difficult. This is very, very artificial. I will not walk. This is very artificial." No, what the child will do, he'll keep walking, and then when he learns walking, then the child, everybody realizes it is natural, innate quality of the child to walk. That initial practice was simply a practice to allow what was within to come out. This is the example Rupa Goswami gives. Similarly, when we are chanting and doing bhakti, it may appear artificial for us right now, but ultimately it will uncover, and that is our natural state. Therefore, Prabhupada did not build a society of ISKCON people who are waiting to leave the world. There is one Christian organization where the leader called all the people saying that we have to commit mass suicide, then we'll go back to Christ. And they did that also. Pagal log the wo log. Prabhupada did not build ISKCON like that. Okay, we'll all go back to Godhead. Let us wait to leave the world. No, Prabhupada wanted people to transform their consciousness now. He wanted to create a spiritual society here, not somewhere else, not in next life, not imagine it in some other realm. Prabhupada said we are already in the spiritual world if you are in Krishna consciousness. The spiritual world is not far away. It begins where there is Krishna. So therefore, Krishna consciousness, if you think it is a passport, we will become impatient. We will become escapist. We will be dry in our bhakti. Every seva will become like, but if we make it as a rediscovery path, then every chanting will become reunion with Krishna. Every kirtan will become festival of presence with Krishna. Every seva will become exchange with Krishna. Even death death will not be a doorway to a new destination, because death will be continuation of a relationship that already is there now. I already have a relationship with Krishna. Death will just continue the relationship. Many of us have made the mistake of making bhakti as a passport, not as rediscovery. So if you're in passport consciousness, then we will tolerate suffering. We will focus on happiness after death. So we will never be happy here. But if you focus on rediscovery, then we will see Krishna here. So please know, passport mentality means future reward. Rediscovery mentality means present relationship with Krishna. Passport mentality means delayed fulfillment. Rediscovery mentality means immediate connection with Krishna. Passport mentality means escape from this world. Rediscovery mentality means engage with Krishna with meaning. Passport mentality means externally relocate, go somewhere else. No. Rediscovery mentality means internal transformation. Passport mentality means transactional bhakti. I will do bhakti so that I can get something else. No. Rediscovery mentality means relationship bhakti. I have a relationship with Krishna. Sudama. What was Sudama doing? Sudama did not ask for wealth. He was terribly poor. He didn't ask. He was so happy that he just was with Krishna. He didn't negotiate with Krishna. He went empty-handed and he returned with Krishna's heart. He did not, of course, he got wealth. That's another pastime. But what are his words? What did he say? What does Bhagavatam say? Kwaham daridra papiyan, kwa Krishna Shri Niketana, Brahma Bandhuriti Smaham, Bahubhyam Parirambita. These are Sudama's words. He says, oh, look at me. I am such a poor man. Kwaham daridra papiyan. Look at Krishna. Shri Niketana is the husband of Goddess of Fortune. What did he do? Brahma Bandhuriti Smaham. I am a fallen Brahmana. But what did this person do? Bahubhyam Parirambita. He embraced me. Sudama is happy. He got Krishna's embrace. He did not want anything else. Okay, I'll ask you a question. All of you love your mother? Yes. Now, why do you love your mother? Because she gives you food? Is that why you love her? Or do you love her because she is your mother? See, a devotee loves Krishna not because Krishna gives moksha or wealth or peace of mind. We love Krishna because he's Krishna. He's our beloved Lord. Pure devotee doesn't love Krishna to get something. He loves Krishna because that love is natural life force. So I'm again and again repeating, they're not there, but you have to keep hearing this. Gopis, in the 10th canto, Ras Leela chapter, they are saying, we simply want to serve you birth after birth. They don't want mukti, they don't want swarga. So they got Krishna's association. So this association, bhakti is not a stepping stone, it is a destination. Anybody knows how to play violin? Imagine a child learning violin. If the child is told, beta, you play the violin very nicely and one day you will win a competition, then that happiness that he experiences from joy is external. But a true musician, he will play the violin for the joy of the music itself. That melody is the own reward. Similarly, when we chant, we're not chanting to get liberation, blessings, peace, because chanting is Krishna and Krishna is everything. That is why that Narad Muni and cobbler story, that Brahman could not believe that Narad Muni went to Vaikuntha. Cobbler could believe because he had simple trust. See, therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Krishna, I don't mind becoming a worm, but let me get devotee association. Let me be with you. See, the message is, okay, I'll conclude now. I took a very long class today. The point is, okay, if I had to say it in 30 seconds, I'll say this. We don't chant now so that one day we stop chanting. We chant so that we can chant forever. So when we become perfect in pure devotee, what we will do? We will do exactly what you are doing now. Just we will do it with love instead of effort. That's all. Now we are doing it with effort. So Prabhupada said, if you are happy in Krishna consciousness, you are successful. And it is success not because we are getting something, because we are successful in bhakti, because this is it. We are doing this because this is a treasure. We are not waiting for bhakti. You are swimming in bhakti right now. This is it. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. I went on and on. I'm sorry. We can have 10 minutes of question answers. 10-15 minutes. I'm sorry.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. This is it. Thank you so much. You explained well how bhakti process is present, living and loving relationship with Krishna. Passport. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yes, we'll take up the Q&A now. So I request anyone, if you have question, either you put on chat or please raise your hand so we can take up the question. I think there is one question already on chat. So I'll read it, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Hare
please.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for today's class, explaining us profound concept in simple way. My question is, from the last 1.5 years, I have been badly distracted while chanting, reading or hearing or doing any activity, be it spiritual or mundane. I keep thinking about something else while doing one. I tried a lot of things to help focus, but I can't somehow stop getting distracted and then I am highly disturbed. This gives me anxiety as well. Is this related to what you explained in today's class? What should I be doing to overcome this condition? Apurva Matanya.
Hare Krishna. Please do the 3 things I shared. Reflect, reflection, emotion, and patience. I spoke about this in the class today. We need to spend some time asking these tough questions. Why am I doing bhakti? What do I want? Change the paradigm. Please start seeing Krishna as chanting for chanting's sake. And add some emotion. And then also have patience, because we'll not be happy and ecstatic every day when we chant. It's a relationship. So patience, reflection, and emotion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. There is another question. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sometimes it so happens we want to do so much seva, but due to our bodily limits, plus our basic responsibility are also important, that we can't do much, and we are in the war with our mindset that are we really sincere to Krishna or just an excuse? Please, can you answer how we are supposed to handle this situation?
See, we'll always have challenges. Bhishma was lying on a bed of arrows. Bhishma could not do a lot of external things, but still he offered Krishna the best. The Bhagavatam says, Bhishma offered kind words. So we will all be put in situations where we'll not be able to do bhakti the way we are doing now. Many times, we have this obsession with high standards. When we say, I want to offer best, I want to improve, we generally make the mistake that we compare ourselves with some ideal standard. Let's say 10 years ago, you were young and fitter and you could chant sitting straight. Now you cannot. And now you feel you're miserable. Your chanting is miserable because you're comparing your present day chanting with your previous best health situation. We should never compare our present with past or future. We should ask ourselves, what is the best way I can chant now? Because now you are sick. So if you are sick now, you cannot chant like you chanted last year when you were healthy. But we compare with our healthy past. So therefore we become miserable now. So what I'm saying is, instead of comparing with the past, you say, okay, now I'm very sick. Given this present situation and present challenge, what is the best I can offer Krishna? So offer the best now. Don't offer the best in relation to your past or future. I hope this answers your question.
So there are a few more. We'll pick up. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, wonderful class, but a little heavy. In order to reach the end, we need to still follow the process. My question is, if Krishna consciousness is the destination, what is the Abhideya Prabhuji to reach the end?
Same thing, chanting, hearing, with reflection, devotion, emotion, and with patience. Utsaha, Nishaya, Dharya. This is the process. We mentioned that in the beginning. Krishna consciousness is the process. But see, the whole class I mentioned is that the paradigm has to shift. If we don't see, we are not beating ourselves for being in this mode. I said so many times that we have to be, even Dhruv Maharaj wanted material things. Gajendra wanted relief from distress. It's okay. Let us be vulnerable. Let us accept where we are. But we can't be stuck there. We will not find fulfillment unless we accept it internally that I'm not going to get anything more than this. We have to start seeing relationship with Krishna now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I feel, okay, I'll take live first. Hare Krishna, Miss Nilima Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much. My question is not related to today's class, Prabhu, but I've been meaning to take this opportunity to talk to you in person. If it's okay, is it okay if it's unrelated to today's class, but something that's been bothering me? Sorry, my camera. Actually. Something that has been bothering me for a while now.
Yeah.
Prabhu, I personally think the bhakti, like my bhakti gets affected by things. Like I personally feel that I'm not able to leave a particular thought. Say something like someone has wronged me or someone has been unjust to me. I have this innate desire to prove myself to that person. And I'll go to any extent that consumes a lot of time, energy. It creates a lot of stress. It impacts me, my children, my family. But I just feel like I have to prove this to someone. I have to prove this to this person that no, this is wrong, or I want to show it to the other person that no, this is wrong, that I was wronged. And I have this, I don't know, it's an obsession or an OCD or whatever, but that impacts my chanting a lot. And when I'm going through that phase or when I'm having those triggers, it becomes virtually impossible for me to chant any rounds without continuously focusing on that issue.
Yeah. The more you struggle, Mataji, the more it will haunt you. You have to let go of the struggle. You have to accept that you have this urge and this intensity to prove your point to others, and you have to be comfortable in your own skin. It's okay to be who you are. The more the more you struggle with it, the more you will not only be unable to conquer your mind, the more frustrated you will get. Some people do second thing, which is tolerate. But I'm offering a third alternative, which is accept who you are, and continue to do what is good for you. That is chanting. So accepting means just like you told me now, the same thing you have to tell yourself, that I am obsessed with this and it is okay. That is the way I am. But Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. Krishna says, Ishopanishad says, we are complete, we are perfect, we belong to Krishna. So in that mood, see, it's like this. Recently, Indian Army was being interviewed. Indian Army chiefs were being interviewed. What is India's strategy with Pakistan? So because there was recently 4-day war. So India's strategy is very clear. Strategic disengagement. That is their motto. Which means we don't want to fight with Pakistan and waste our time, because we want to focus on infrastructure development, growth of our country. So the whole mood is what? See, there are 3 options India has with Pakistan. First is to convince Pakistan, fight with them, crush them. It's a waste of energy because so much of resources will go, so much of fighting will happen. Second is tolerate. Just tolerate, ceasefire. Ceasefire is also not permanent, and fighting is also not permanent solution. What is the permanent solution? Be alert, but know that they are not going to change. Accept that they are going to be the way they are. The mind is going to be the way it is. Accept that this country is going to be like this. They're not going to change because there's ideological difference. And focus on what you need to do. What is your vision? What is your goal? Focus on that. Knowing that this is the way it is going to be. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation to the fact. Acceptance means making peace with what it is and focus on what needs to be done. So mind will be like this. Mataji, your mind is troubling you like this. My mind troubles me in another way. Everybody's mind is troubling them in a unique way. You are not somebody special. It's just that the variety of suffering, yours variety of suffering will be different than the variety of suffering somebody else is having. So you just have to accept it. My mind is like this. And so this is called moving from struggle to surrender. So therefore, we need to start making this transition now. So it's okay to be the way you are. This is called acceptance. Acceptance. I accept the way I am. I accept my mind is like this. So then that way you separate yourself from your mind also. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Roji, you want me to take up a few more? Or
I have 5 minutes, yes.
Okay. I'll be quick. So yes, there is question from Surat Padma Kishori Devi Dasana. Anyavilashita Shunyam. We read, we listen, we should not expect in return, but still inside we feel someone appreciates us at home or at temple, at office, even though we try to ignore such thought, but still it comes on off. How to deal with it, I think. Kindly give your valuable tips.
Again, I'll repeat the same thing. Please, you don't try to control the mind. Just offer where you are now to Krishna. Krishna is called Rishikesha. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Gopinath, Tumi Kripa, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Gopinath, Tumi Rishikesha Rishikadamiya Taraye Samsmriti Gore. We cannot control our mind. Krishna can control our mind and senses. So what we do is we offer ourselves to Krishna and we try our best. But trying again, I said in the whole class, even in the japa session, I was explaining the same thing. We have to let go the struggle and enter the space of surrender. We need to offer Krishna where we are in this space. We offer Krishna. Then we will experience Krishna's presence in our life. We are all, I think, speaking, all the questions are in the space of inadequacy. The first sentence I spoke today was that we have grown up. Our starting, from day one of our childhood, we have learned that we are not enough. We have been conditioned to believe that I'm inadequate, I'm incomplete, I'm lacking. And that's why we are restless. And that's why we feel that fulfillment lies somewhere else. And that's why we get so many questions. So I'm proposing the entire today's japa session as well as the discussion of ABC session was that let us be in this space that I am enough. I belong to Krishna. Please don't see your worth in doing certain things. You are all seeing your worth in achieving a certain quality in chanting. You are thinking you will be worthy if you do something, if you achieve certain control over your mind. Your worth is not based on any of that. Your worth is based on the fact that you belong to Krishna. That is the main message of today's discussion. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. One more question. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I feel I am doing bhakti to get rid of all suffering and Krishna is just a means. When serving or pleasing Krishna comes, it is very difficult because I somewhere hate or envy Krishna. What to do then, as we don't have desire to, we have desire to pleasure but oneself?
Please do the same thing. What you told me, say the same thing to Krishna. Krishna, I don't know what it means to love you, but I am here now. I'm offering myself to you. Please help me. That's it. Instead of asking me, see, when a husband and wife have a fight, a big fight, and they go to a marriage counselor for mediation and counseling. So let us say one of them approaches a very senior counselor for tips to resolve the marriage issue. So he or she gets a lot of tips and advice. Then what does that lady or man do? Is that the end of the problem is ended because she has learned from the counselor? No. That person has to go back to her husband or their partner. They have to go back to because it is with the partner you have a problem. So you have to resolve it with the partner, not by going to a third person. Similarly, asking in questions in a class is going to a third person about your relationship with Krishna, who is your eternal master. So I may tell you some things, but ultimately you have to go back to Krishna. What you are asking me, what you are hearing in the class, the same thing you have to tell Krishna. Krishna, what you told me, I hate Krishna, I envy Krishna. Say this to Krishna. Krishna, I think I hate you, I envy you, I don't know what it means to love you, and I'm using Krishna consciousness as a means. This is the way I am. Please help me, please guide me. And you know what will Krishna say? You will hear this. If you say this with emotion, you will hear Krishna tell you in the heart, I already knew it. I already knew it. It's okay. I'm glad at least you came and confessed. Don't worry, I still love you, I still accept you. I know you are a rascal, but I love you. This is what Krishna will tell you. Because Krishna is looking for authenticity. Krishna is not looking for perfection. So wherever you are, our Chaitanya Charan Prabhu says beautifully, in your space, what is, I forget, at your space, at your pace, you enter, no, something like that. You enter Krishna's space or something like that. He plays with the words very well. The essence of that is wherever you are, from there you can offer Krishna.